Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nickscast. Nick at Night, whatever you want to call this. We are at Unplugged Expo. I am Nick T, and I am here with Lulu.
Yep.
And we're like...
Just got back from con. It's not as late as normal, but it's about 10:20-ish around there. Yeah, long walk, but it's okay.
Yeah, and Unplugged Expo is only 2 days as opposed to 3 days. It starts on the Saturday, ends on the Sunday. It's here in Toronto, Ontario, and because of that, we're just gonna do the one con report today and kind of call it a day. And that's partly because of how Unplugged has been for us.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how things have been for you, Lulu?
Yeah, it's definite. Yeah, I think a thing, right? It's been a little bit slower today. Like, it's a much smaller con. It was even bigger last year, and it's really small this time. So it was more like just getting to hang out with Nick and myself kind of day, which was pretty cool. I got to do a photo shoot with Drew, which was really cool. So I got some more pictures of my Cher costume, which was really nice. There are a few things that I do want to buy, but the dealer's room's a little bit small. There's no like t-shirt people really, or like tchotchke people, but there are a few things that I want to get, so definitely gonna do that. But it's quiet, definitely quiet.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that one of the big differences, I'd only been to Unplugged Expo last year, and even then it seems small. We went with Evan and Cassie and Nick G and some other people, and it was small. And we spent some of the time at Unplugged, and then we just had a good time hanging out otherwise. And this year it's kind of like that as well. Obviously we don't have the other people around to hang around with, but I feel like in some ways it's larger, and in other ways it's even smaller. Last year, as an example, they had a whole gaming area. They had, as you mentioned, t-shirt place, chop shop,
Yep.
goods.
They had the Elsa sister. They had like the Frozen sister.
That's true. They had those.
This
This year, though, I think they actually have more programming. Like, they have more going on at the main stage, more going on in the panel rooms. They had the entire room of requirement.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
But I guess rather than pick apart how Unplugged, last year it was at the International Center as well, which is out in Mississauga. It's a little bit larger and certainly had more room to expand. I have no idea why the location moved or why it's a different time of year or any of that.
It's just different.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about some of the things that have been going well, some of the differences we've enjoyed, or just things that have been fun at the con so far, rather than Unplugged this year wasn't as good as last year.
I'm not gonna say not as good as last year. Just it was just different. Just definitely different. There are lots of neat people. Definitely, we did some really great interviews, which was really cool. Definitely lots of great people.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference this year has been we actually interviewed a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Usually we would post this after we've recorded it, but you'll probably be seeing this at the same time as we release some of the other content from this con. You'll be seeing stuff. You'll be seeing video content from, who did we interview? The Power Rangers.
Yep.
There's a group. Yeah, Toronto Power Rangers. Content from. Oh, what was the name? Moonshine. Moonchase.
How can you tell?
No, I like Sailor Moon, but it's just I couldn't remember the name of the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody from Moonchase, and we talked to a bunch of different cosplayers. So all of that will be available at the same time, and that was a lot of fun because we talked to cosplayers about how did you make this costume and what are these people doing here, and yeah, we went to, I think probably the biggest thing that I would like to talk about is probably Masters of Cosplay.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool. Yeah. So Masters of Cosplay is kind of like this event that's invite only. So you can't you can't really sign up for it. They invite you for it. And I found out that at Anime North they had a wild card, so anyone could give their best costume and be entered. And Jelly Cosplay was she was the wild card. I really liked her costume the best, but it was pretty cool. It's nice to see people's work for Masters, because when you do masquerades, once you get up to Master, you're kind of okay, like, what do I do now? Because, like, now I'm a master. So it's nice to see that they do have special things that just masters get to enter, and they get to compete against people of their own level. But that was pretty cool. There was lots of people.
Yeah, Jelly Cosplay did something from, was it Blade and Sword, Sword and Mount?
I don't know. They were all video games. I don't think.
Oh, were they? Okay.
I think they were all video games. I don't know.
I mean, 4 out of the 5 were, you know what, I don't know. A bunch of them were video game related. I know that. There was a bunch. Overwatch was very well represented at this con.
Super. Yeah. But that was the costume that one was one of the Overwatches, wasn't it?
Yes,
the guy with the bombs and sorry people. I don't know.
I wish I knew more. Like I know that
it was really cool. He had like an Aladdin hat it was blue with a feather. Like it was cool. Like it was. Really cool.
I'm sure that when I put painstaking hours into this video, I can edit in like, oh hey, this was who it was.
Oh hey, little pop up window. Bink. Hey, this is this.
So, I know second place was Mercy. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did a really great skit for that one too. Ed the Sock was one of the judges. Yeah, that was like kind of hilarious. So Ed the Sock was one of the judges, and if you're not from Canada, you probably will have no idea what I'm talking about. But there is a station called Much Music, and for the longest time in Canada, we don't have MTV, so we have Much Music, and then that's a whole chaotic story on its own, and like people get very up and antsy about it. But anyways, so Ed the Sock was there as one of the judges, and he's like literally a puppet that's a sock, and he's just like says the most like outrageous things, and you're just like, what? It was pretty good. Who's the cosplayer that was one of the judges?
Marie, I don't remember her last name. She's a famous cosplayer, French Canadian cosplayer. Marie Quaz.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not good at this. We'll post it in the.
Put another bubble.
We'll put it in the notes. Yeah.
We'll put the bubble here.
I got some footage of that, so we'll probably post some of the footage of that if all things go well. But it's really cool because I'm aware of the different. I'm now aware of the different levels that are in cosplay competition. You have your like novice and your journeyman, and then the one I forgot, and then master.
Oh, the one that he forgot is artisan. It's in the middle. Yeah. But this is also the guy that didn't go to a masquerade until Con Bravo, which was the last trip for the Nickscast and Lulu and oh my god, I forget Chloe's. Oh, she's going to kill me. And Chloe and Evan. So I'm not going to pull it against you. Yeah. And Carolyn. Sorry, Carolyn. And Carolyn too. So I'm not going to hold it against you that you don't remember the levels. But that was also a fun thing. The masquerade was pretty fun. So I entered my She-Ra costume just for kicks and giggles. So at least I can say I was a contestant at this one now, which is really fun. So that's to like your thing. There was some pretty good costumes. There was like a light up Charizard. That was pretty cool. He was saying that he entered it at Hamilton Comic-Con. And he entered as novice, and they moved him to master. But like, we're all standing behind, and he's telling the story like backstage, and we're all like, no, like it's definitely not like we're like the girl was saying like probably definitely not master, but like so not novice. Probably somewhere either journeyman or artisan for sure. But it like because for mastery everything needs to be like finished and complete and like perfect, right? And behind his wings you could see the pipes. So we're all like, and he totally agreed. He's like, now I like don't know what to do because he's like, is someone like gonna back check? I'm like, not really. So like you can enter in a novice as you want because he's like, because he wants to enter in at like an Anime North or like Fan Expo, and he's like, that just doesn't seem right. And I'm like, well, do what you want, dude, because no one's gonna like. But that was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. He was all like lit up and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else that I'd really like to mention about being at an Unplugged Expo. The only thing I can think of is that one person, the Dovahkiin. Well, there's two things I can think of. One is the Dovahkiin, the person in that ridiculous armor that actually won the masquerade.
That was really cool. He did all of his detailing in hot glue.
Okay, cool. Because so we saw him throughout the day, and we were going to interview him. And for all I know, by the time this is posted, we will have interviewed that person.
Hopefully.
But they have a lot of really intricate detailing on the armor, and I was trying to figure out what it was made out of. And now I know it's hot glue.
I was trying not to, I was like super nervous backstage, and his handler is with him. Oh my god, actually, if we can find his handler tomorrow, which I'm gonna really show, hopefully they're wearing the same costumes, was the most kick-ass Sith Lord I have ever seen. Like, sorry. He was really kick-ass. But like, so I was trying not to creep, and like, I was super nervous, but like, when we were done, I'm like standing there. I'm like, oh my god, it's hot glue. Like, it was fantastic. Like, it was like super fantastic. Yeah, just like, I have my mind blown. Like, why wouldn't I? Yeah, but it's because like once you paint hot glue, it just looks like any other detailing.
Well, as long as you make sure there's not some furs, etc.
Yeah. Also, one of the contestants in the masquerade, she has like a light up sword. She's saying she made it out of PVC and styrofoam, and then it had lights in it. So hopefully you have a clip shot. I said clip shit, but I meant to say clip shot. But yeah, it's okay. At least I'm cute.
Only other thing that I think was really fun was at the masquerade how they had Bear Sailor Moon.
Yeah, he's awesome. Bear's awesome.
Bear Sailor Moon is Sailor Moon. I'm not sure if he's like actually like a bear, but like he's like got a beard. He's really funny.
Yeah, I don't know where he came up with Bear Sailor Moon, but like he's super funny.
Yeah.
I check out his Facebook page. I'll make Nicholas put a pop up.
Yep, we're just giving myself homework this evening.
Yeah. Thanks, future Nicholas. Love you. You can blame past Nicholas.
I mean, that's a good way to rationalize decisions, right? It's like, this is past you's fault. You're like, curse past me.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that I can think, if we want to start wrapping this up, is just, if the con was exactly as it was this year, would you want to go again?
I would go again if more people came. I think if more of our posse came with us, I think it'd be a little bit more interesting because it would turn into more of like a hangout with the posse kind of day. But I think I would go again next year if the dealer's room's a little bit bigger. Because like one of my favorite things is like wandering around the dealer's room. But possibly, maybe one day next year, depending on tomorrow. Because tomorrow has some pretty cool programming. So I'm going to say yes, and then future me can decide whether to actually go or not.
So you got the smart plan there to like weasel out of things. You gave future you a potential out.
No, maybe. I don't know. I think it just boils down to what does it look like tomorrow. So I'm going to say yes, going to go again next year just to give myself like a not a weasel answer. I'm going to say yes.
Okay. I think it'd be completely dependent on guests. This year they had Joe, Tiki, and...
Speaking of guests, wasn't Sugar supposed to be there?
I think she might have been at the PJ reunion, but I don't know. One of the things that we noticed is that there were a couple of the rooms in the booths in the dealer's room that were empty, and they weren't supposed to be in the schedule. There were supposed to be people there. I do think Sugar was supposed to be there, but it looks like she's been pulled from a lot of the content. Maybe she had to do something. I don't know.
Yeah, we thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like the weird part of Unplugged.
Yeah.
It's called the weird part.
I overheard someone talking about the con, and all that really helped me to learn is that it'd be really interesting to be a fly on the wall, seeing how these conventions come together. But that's way away from the question that I asked us, and that is, it would depend on who's coming next year, both in terms of our posse and in terms of potential guests. And if we went next year, I would definitely want to go to the actual hotel because it's right near the lake. It's beautiful. Yeah. Right now we're sitting a half an hour walk away, which is in a nice hotel, but not.
And the staff are super pleasant, so it makes it slightly better, but definitely again, things we learned for next year. So overall, how many stars, Nicholas?
Okay, well,
out of 5 stars, how many stars?
Okay,
Well,
so...
out of 5.
Okay, so working off of what I remember me giving a rating to London Comic Con, I think I gave London Comic Con like 2.5 stars.
Okay.
Just because like we kind of struggled for things to do, and that's been pretty similar so far. And I don't know because I did that after the con, and we're only doing this halfway through this one. So I would give.
Looking at the programming for tomorrow, what are you figuring?
Still like 2.5 stars. Like if I was just to do it today, I'd give it 2, and tomorrow 2.5. And it's not because it's a bad con. Like by no means do I want to like badmouth Unplugged because we've had fun. We've had a lot of fun, but.
We're going on just like strictly like programming and like what we like generally do at cons.
Yeah, it's like in terms of things for us to do, it's been a bit of a struggle. And last year, at the very least, you could fall back on, oh, here's some cool stuff you can look at. But the dealer's room has been really small. There hasn't been a lot of artists out. Like I'm usually not big on the dealer's room at all, and this year I'm like, okay, well at least we have that. And no, we don't. I'd still recommend going out to check out Unplugged, especially if you're in Toronto, because it's really easy to get to. And there were tons of people. There were tons of people cosplaying.
That was the other thing. Like, there were tons of people, though. Like, there were tons of people. I'd probably give it 2.5, too. Yeah. Mainly because, like, programming could have been maybe a little more program-wise and a little bit bigger dealer's room, but definitely good con. Good place to like hang out and chat, but like definitely could do with a little bit of improvement. But it's stumbling block. I think this is the 5th one. I think Fan Expo is in like its like craziness, and like Anime North as well. Also what's the other convention that we always go to? Con Bravo's, and it's like I think it's 4th or 5th year. So like. So this one's a kind of like baby age. So I think it's just growing pains.
That's our rambling, incoherent mess of how Unplugged Expo has gone. Tune in for this. Tune in for other things that we have released from this con, and also look forward to. Well, I really hope this is up by the time we're at London Forest City Comic Con. Yeah. But that's what we'll be up to next.
And if you're at Forest City Comic Con, come find us because I'll be Chrono and he'll be Luca. And feel free to say hi because we like when people say hi.
Yeah, and you'll also like see the entire Nickscast crew, not just the two of us.
Not the roadshow.
No. Thank you everybody for watching. Bye. Bye.